Today we're going to discuss Jupiter's transit to Cancer for Capricorn Ascendant. This is one of the most important partnership transits of the coming cycle because Cancer is the 7th house for Capricorn. At first glance, this looks like a clean blessing for marriage, clients, business alliances, and public visibility, but the real story is more layered. Jupiter is strong in Cancer, yet for Capricorn it also carries the themes of effort, communication, expenses, foreign links and surrender. So this is not lazy luck, it is growth through other people handled with maturity. Jupiter first gives a preview of Cancer from around October 18th, 2025. This early phase can bring a hint of what is coming: relationship talks, client openings, foreign links or important conversations with a spouse or partner. But the preview does not stay steady. Jupiter turns retrograde and moves back to Gemini on December 5th, 2025. The main phase begins on June 2026 when Jupiter re-enters Cancer. For Capricorn Ascendant, this activates the 7th house in a much stronger way. The clean opening window runs from June 20 to around July 13, 2026. This is favourable for proposals, negotiations, client expansion, reconciliation, and serious alliance discussions. From July 14th to August 12, 2026, Jupiter is combust. This does not cancel the transit, but it can make results less visible. Use that time for review, private discussion, counselling, drafting agreements, and correcting misunderstandings. After mid-August, Jupiter regains strength and remains in Cancer until October 31, 2026. Then it returns to Cancer again from January 25th to June 26, 2027. So think of this as a preview, a main opening, and a second chance to complete unfinished partnership matters. For Capricorn Ascendant, Cancer is the 7th house. This is the house of marriage, spouse, committed relationships, business partners, clients, agreements, negotiations, and public dealings. Jupiter coming here expands the field of the other person. Growth does not come only through private effort, it comes through alliance. Jupiter is also exalted in Cancer, so its capacity to guide, protect, teach, and bless is high because Cancer is a Kendra from Capricorn. This transit can temporarily activate a Hamza-like signature: wisdom, ethical conduct, public respect, and prosperity through good judgment. But here is the correction many people miss. Jupiter is not the 9th lord for Capricorn. It rules the 3rd house, Pisces, and the 12th house, Sagittarius. That means this transit delivers its best results through communication, courage, writing, media, sales, short travel, documents, and repeated effort. It also brings 12th house themes: expenses, foreign connections, sleep, retreat, hospitals, long-distance situations, spiritual settlement, and letting go. So the headline is simple. Jupiter opens doors through relationships, but those doors require paperwork, honest speech, and responsible choices. This is why Capricorn should not read the transit as generic marriage luck alone. It is a relationship transit, a contract transit, a communication transit, and a foreign link transit at the same time. For marriage and committed relationships, this is one of the strongest windows in 12 years for Capricorn Ascendant if the birth chart and current planetary period support it. Unmarried natives may receive serious proposals, family introductions, or commitment conversations. Existing relationships can move toward formalization. For married natives, the spouse becomes a central axis of life decisions. This transit can restore trust, soften communication, and bring mutual guidance, but Jupiter also expands what is already present. If the relationship is healthy, it grows. If resentment, distance, or financial confusion has been hidden, it can come up for correction. Because Jupiter carries 12th house themes, some relationships may involve distance, travel, private sacrifice, or expenses. A long-distance bond may become serious. A couple may discuss relocation, foreign paperwork, medical recovery, or a more spiritual way of living together. The 7th house also governs business partnerships and clients. This is excellent for consultancy, advisory work, teaching, counselling, law, finance, education, astrology, therapy, publishing, and any profession where people pay for trust and expertise. Your money can come through people who believe your judgment. Still, partnership is not automatically safe just because Jupiter is strong. Jupiter owns the 12th house for Capricorn, so vague agreements can leak money. If roles, fees, equity, timelines, or exit terms are unclear, the blessing can turn into confusion. This is why the transit favours mature alliance, not blind trust. The best expression is simple: choose better partners, become a better partner, and make the terms clear. In love, that means honest emotional expectations. In business, it means written agreements. In public dealings, it means diplomacy without losing boundaries. The 7th house can also show open rivals. A difficult person may force you to negotiate more intelligently. Even conflict can become useful if it teaches fairness, timing, and better boundaries. This is not a direct 10th house transit, so it may not always look like a simple promotion story. The career growth comes through the 7th and 11th houses. That means clients, collaborations, contracts, spouse support, public dealing, referrals, networks, and business development become the channel of professional expansion. Jupiter's 5th aspect falls on Scorpio, the 11th house for Capricorn. This is very useful. The 11th house governs income, gains, audiences, large organisations, elder siblings, influential contacts, and long-term desires. So this transit can increase earnings through client work, partnerships, consulting, teaching, content, professional circles, and community support. Jupiter also aspects Capricorn itself, your ascendant. This gives protection to confidence, health, judgment, and public image. You may appear more credible, calm, and approachable. People may come to you for advice, not just labour. This is especially helpful for people who sell knowledge directly: consultants, teachers, lawyers, counsellors, creators, analysts, advisors, and healers. The offer must be clear. The audience must understand what problem you solve. Then the 11th house aspect can turn trust into measurable gains. There is one caution: Jupiter can expand appetite, comfort, and obligations. So avoid overcommitting to every client or every relationship request. The right growth is not more people at any cost. The right growth is better agreements with the right people. Jupiter also aspects Pisces, your 3rd house, and Jupiter owns that house. At the same time, Saturn is moving through Pisces, making the 3rd house serious and effort heavy. This turns communication into the workshop of the whole transit. Writing, speaking, marketing, sales, teaching, applications, documents, negotiations, and short travel become important. A business may grow because you finally explain the offer clearly. A relationship may improve because you stop avoiding the difficult conversation. A foreign opportunity may move forward because the paperwork is handled properly. Siblings, neighbours, teammates, and everyday contacts can also become part of the story. Small conversations may lead to large openings, but only when followed by consistent effort. The 12th house connection brings overseas clients, long-distance relationships, travel, relocation talks, retreats, private healing, and expenses. Do not treat every expense as a loss. Some spending may be investment, settlement, or preparation, but unconscious spending through spouse, business expansion, legal matters, or travel must be watched. For Capricorn, the rule is: say less casually, write more clearly, and document everything. The Cancer transit unfolds through 3 tones. In Punarvasu, the mood is restorative. Old proposals, old clients, previous relationship conversations, or stalled agreements may return. Something that seemed closed can reopen with better understanding. In Pushya, the tone becomes more formal and responsible. This is a strong phase for serious marriage talks, business structure, client commitments, mentoring, and public credibility. But Pushya gives blessing through duty. It asks for consistency, not emotional excitement alone. In Ashlesha, the tone becomes more psychological and strategic. Hidden motives, unclear contracts, emotional manipulation, or financial leakage can become visible. This phase is not necessarily negative. It can purify a partnership by showing the truth. So the sequence is clear. Punarvasu restores, Pushya formalizes, and Ashlesha reveals. If you move with awareness, each phase has a useful purpose. This timing is useful for planning, reopen and reconnect in Punarvasu, build structure and commitment in Pushya, audit motives, money, and promises in Ashlesha. The strongest results come when the birth chart and current planetary period already support relationship, business, client growth, foreign movement, or public visibility. If the chart promises marriage, this can be a major commitment window. If the chart promises business growth, clients and collaborations can become the income channel. If foreign movement is promised, doors may open through spouse, contract, employer, or international clients. If the chart is more challenging, Jupiter can still help, but it may first reveal what needs correction. A weak agreement must be rewritten. A fragile relationship must communicate. A careless expense pattern must be disciplined. No transit overrides the natal promise, but a strong transit can give timing, opportunity, guidance, and support. To work with this wisely, treat relationships as a serious path of growth. Listen better, speak clearly, and keep promises. In business, build a client pipeline, use written contracts, define roles, and separate friendship from financial terms. Manage expenses consciously, especially around travel, spouse, legal work, foreign links, and business expansion. Protect sleep and avoid overcommitment. The message for Capricorn Ascendant is direct. Jupiter in Cancer opens the door through other people. Saturn asks you to walk through it with patience, documents, boundaries, and responsibility. Done well, this can become one of the most constructive partnership periods of the decade.